Hey guys, Ivan here, and your new Arnold Classic champion is Derek Lunsford. Actually, Samson Dauda ended up not winning this show. After the finals, I gotta say, it looked a little bit different compared to the pre-judging. At the pre-judging, it really seemed like Derek was winning, but after the finals, it seemed like maybe Samson could be turning things around. However, it wasn't enough. I'm going to show you the call-outs from the finals in a second. But Samson took that second. In third, of course, we had Andrew Jack. In fourth, obviously, Brandon Curry. In fifth, as expected, William Bonek. And at sixth, we had Hakeem Williams. As far as the other guys, we don't know that officially yet, but I'm pretty sure, based on the call-outs and the way they were moving these guys, just like I predicted the top six after watching the prejudging, I can tell you that probably in seventh we have Sean Clarida, in eighth James Hollingshead, in ninth Carlos Thomas Jr., in 10th Patrick Moore, and in 11th Justin Rodriguez. I'm pretty sure that's the order, but we'll see. As far as the winner, once again, it is Derek Lunsford. Was this deserved? I would say yeah. Yeah, I think he's probably the only guy, maybe William Bonek as well. Those two guys were the only guys that were really in condition, that were conditioned enough for us to be able to actually see that conditioning on this live stream. And you really need to be in decent conditioning for it to show here. I mean, I haven't really seen any kind of separation, any kind of details from Samson or Andrew or Brandon Curry. Bonek was in solid conditioning, and Sean Clarida as well. James was not, Carlos Thomas Jr. was not. Not a lot of guys were in crazy condition, but Derek was. Derek was shredded. You're going to see that in a second. He's the only guy that really had shredded glutes. And I know a lot of guys don't really care about the glutes. It's not supposed to be a glute contest, but still, I like to see that the guys are lean everywhere in their bodies. Like in classic physique, everybody has shredded glutes, so why not in open? Alright, now let's check out the call-outs. Let's actually see who brought what to the finals here. So, as you will see, Samson improved for the finals for sure. He did come in drier, which means he was able to get rid of some of the water, but obviously a part of a problem with his conditioning was not just water weight, it was probably body fat as well, and he can't remove that in one day. You know, he needed a couple of more weeks of dieting. And honestly, I feel like Samson was kind of too relaxed at his show. Maybe he was a little bit overconfident, and it seems like he didn't really go all out for this show, and it cost him. It cost him this win. Now, Derek really went hard for this one. And with the new coach, with the new motivation, after placing third at a Mr. Olympia, he came with vengeance. He showed up bigger, better, with better balance, better proportions, better symmetry, and better conditioning as well, more size. He was simply a lot improved, and Samson was, in my opinion, a little bit worse than at the Mr. Olympia. With conditioning, at least. Maybe he was also bigger and fuller, but conditioning wasn't what it was at a Mr. Olympia. I don't see it. Maybe it was different in person, but based on the live stream and on the videos and the photos that I saw on Instagram, it doesn't look like that. So I think Derek won this simply because he was in better shape. If Samson was 10% more conditioned, he would have won because he is a bigger man. And honestly, like at the finals, it actually seemed like he was winning. We'll see the scorecard tomorrow. Maybe he actually won. Maybe Samson actually won the finals. But I'm pretty sure Derek won the prejudging. And the prejudging counts more, I think. So if that was the case, then I can see why Derek won. But maybe actually Derek won both prejudging and the finals because he was in better conditioning at both nights. But once again, Samson was better here. You're going to see it especially later in the top two call-out. He had a lot of energy. Now, as far as the second call-out, I thought it was pretty clear that William Bonek was ahead of everybody else here. And Hakeem matched him. He was close to Bonek, but not close enough. And as you can see, Hakeem Williams, like in his Instagram photos, I was kind of fooled. And I was fooled for probably who knows what time now. I think that Hakeem is just much better than he actually is based on his photos on IG. Like, he looks like a Mr. Olympia on his IG photos. And on stage, you will just see that that's not really the case. The way he's shaped, his size, like the lack of the back, stuff like that. Akim's side chest on IG looks like the best side chest in the world, and here Bonek looks better in side chest. So yeah, Akim is not as good as he actually seems to be on his social media photos. It's interesting that Akim actually changed the way he's posing in the back double. He's tilting his hips backwards now, which I don't know if I like. I mean, it's different, but it doesn't really matter. His back is just so shallow. It's irrelevant, basically. James, I mean, it's kind of weird for Sean Clarida to beat James. I mean, Sean, with his height, he looks like a child next to James, but James is just kind of washed out. You know, he's not in like the craziest condition. He can't go against these guys right here. You know, his dryness is simply not enough against this bubbliness right here. And he's like in good condition, but he doesn't have the details for some reason. I don't know if he's flat or something, but I'm pretty sure about one thing about James. He doesn't really need to go for crazy conditioning. It never really works for him. Because even when he actually gets very lean, he just doesn't have the quality of the muscle, the depth of the separation. So for him, I think it's better to come in as big as possible, as full as possible, because, you know, either way, he won't be the most conditioned guy. He still won't have the separation that some of these other guys do have, right? So I think he actually was probably better off prepping alone last year than this year with Stefan Kinzel, because I don't think extra conditioning really helps his physique. You know, not a lot. I think him coming in as big as full as possible is probably the best way to go. Is this the best James we ever saw? I don't know. Like maybe, I mean, it's hard to tell based on the live stream. Maybe it is, but maybe I actually saw him bigger and fuller and I preferred that. I don't know. But I'm just not impressed with his physique, especially not with the back double bicep. And take a look at Sean Clarida right here. Compare him to James, even though he's a lot shorter, because of his completeness and conditioning and details and bubbliness and roundness. I mean, the height is not enough for James to beat Sean Clarida. I don't see that happening. I mean, we'll see about the results, but I'm like 99% sure that Sean Clarida is in that 7th spot ahead of James Hollinshead. Now, in that last call out, we had a very, very disappointed Carlos Thomas Jr., as you can see it in his face. Even though he's an absolute freak, a crazy mass monster, without conditioning he can't really do much. And as far as Justin Rodriguez here on the left, I think he should retire. I think he's definitely, like, his career is over. Like, he can't come back. I mean, what is he trying even? At this point, he's just getting worse and worse. I mean, it's up to him for how long he wants to compete. Maybe he has some sponsorships, he needs to compete, you know, for money. I understand that, but is he gonna achieve the results that he was achieving once at the peak of his career? No. Is he still able to improve? No. What he's doing right now is trying his hardest to not get much worse every year. And here, I mean, I don't know for a fact the results are not out, but I'm pretty sure Patrick Moore is beating him at this show. But yeah, I have Carlos ahead of these two guys in this call out. But yeah, I'm disappointed with him. I mean, again, guys were talking about how he might win the Arnold Classic. It's not even close. Whether he's going to live up to the hype one day or not, you guys tell me. But I feel like he's probably the new Nick Zilla. You know, I don't see him really achieving that potential because for some reason he just can't get conditioned. Alright, now we also had another two-man call-out, a battle for that third, and actually I was really surprised. I mean, Brandon was pretty much matching Andrew Jack here, right? Like, he was holding his own. I mean, if Brandon had a little bit better legs, I think he would be beating Andrew here. And I think Brandon at his best from 2019 is better than Andrew Jack at his best. You know, it seems like that. There is a lot of talk about Andrew winning the Mr. Olympia, what he needs to do, what he needs to improve. But just like Phil Heath said in the live commentary, it's now or never. We've been saying this kind of stuff for years now, and it seems like Andrew just can't deliver that conditioning in the lower body from behind. He can't really bring up the size of his hamstrings. I heard stories from guys who are training in Bino's gym in Dubai, and they're saying he's training very, very light with not a lot of weight, and he like comes into the gym and trains hamstrings for like 30 minutes and goes back home. So maybe that's that. And based on what I'm seeing also on social media, it doesn't seem like he's lifting very heavy. I'm not saying he's lazy, but his approach might be an issue. Maybe he should fix that. But as far as Brandon Curry, he improved, for sure, significantly. From last year, Mr. Olympia, and at that show, he was actually below William Bonac, and here he managed to surpass him, and he was in a two-man call-out with Andrew Jack. And if you ask me, it was very close. I still thought Andrew was winning, because he is better. For sure. Again, Brandon is 43, he's on his way out, but he held his own against this freaking giant right here. Alright, now, and finally, for that first call-out, Samson Dauda versus Derek Lunsford, honestly, I thought Samson was winning. I think he did win the finals. He was definitely more driven, he had more fire in him, he was definitely fired up, and it seems like Derek was kind of fading, he was getting tired. But Samson was willing to pose for days, and he also got tired as well. But his conditioning is definitely better now than it was at the pre-judging. Was it enough? Apparently, it wasn't. Even if he won the finals, I think Derek won the pre-judging more convincingly. And here, yeah, Samson closed the gap, but simply not enough. Even though Samson probably has a better body, he's bigger, he's probably more complete, he's just freakier, but the issue is the conditioning, and if Samson doesn't bring it, there are guys that will take advantage of that and actually going to be able to beat him. Derek is one of them, Hadi is the other guy, and that's probably it. I guess Andrew could probably edge him out as well, if Andrew could be able to bring the conditioning. I don't know if Martin Fitzwater or Nick Walker can actually beat Samson if he is not 100% on, but I don't know, I don't think so. I think the only two guys that can do that, if they are on, are Derek Lunsford and Hadi Chopin right now in the world in bodybuilding. But again, Samson was fired up right here, he was slightly improved, but it wasn't enough. Check them out in the third round right here, they were getting tired. And they were still posing pretty well, and Samson, I think, was hitting the poses with more patience, because I think he was less tired. His stamina is probably better, but you can see that he was getting tired as well. And Derek was getting tired too, but they were both doing the best they could. They really gave us a really good show. It was really awesome to see them compare to the finals and actually see them battle. Look at the side tricep of Samson. Like, this was freaky. He has that crazy fullness throughout the chest, the arms, the shoulders, the quads, everywhere. Basically, he's so big, so round. But again, it doesn't matter if he is not conditioned. And at the Arnold Classic this year, he wasn't as conditioned as he was in the Mr. Olympia. The finals, again, he was improved. It was close to his Mr. Olympia condition, but still not quite there yet. Not really. So I hope Samson is actually going to bring the conditioning for the Mr. Olympia, because that is the show that counts. Definitely more so than Arnold Classic, and it's awesome to see that Samson actually showed up here, even though he won the Mr. Olympia title. But it's sad for him to see that he actually lost this show. But I would be lying if I said I wasn't happy for Derek, to be honest. Like, I'm really happy that he won. I honestly felt for the guy after he lost that title, actually placed third last year. So seeing him coming back better than ever, probably, and earning this win, even though I'm a huge fan of Samson, I was still happy for Derek. He is your new Arnold Classic champion. You guys tell me what do you think about the results of this show. If you guys enjoyed my Arnold Classic coverage, stay tuned, subscribe to the channel. There will be a lot of videos about Arnold Classic to follow for the next couple of days. So guys, once again, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you soon. All the best and bye-bye.